Hey guys, good morning. It's Tony. I did want to open up with Bed Bath and Beyond actually breaking that 875 level that we actually talked about, I think yesterday. So, as of right now, I am 100% bullish on Bed Bath and Beyond. I'd say that I still would not take this trade at open. Again, I mean we can adjust this a little bit, because it is hitting around the halfway. It is hitting the halfway mark a little bit, but I'd say I would only take this if you manage to stay around this level, which it probably is. Probably come back, retest that 875, or maybe close this gap down here. Then I would take the longs all the way to 12 bucks, possibly to $17 or so. But again, it's still kind of risky considering the fact that CPI is on Wednesday. So if this stays trading sideways today and tomorrow, and it's just all it's doing is just trading sideways, and this is actually the top, and all you see it to, like, for the rest of today, the rest of tomorrow, all you see is just stay within this range. I would not take this trade because again, it's still a heavy risk considering what CPI is going to be. We don't know what it's going to be. It's going to be on Wednesday, and I already told you guys if it comes down under 9.1%, that's basically a solid foundation that 9.1% was inflation, at least for another week, at least for another month, right? That means that the market was right. They inflation at 9.1% as of right now has peaked, right? And the market was right, which means that you should long the fuck out of everything. Um, but if inflation comes out higher than 9.1%, it means the market is wrong. And it means that this market will start correcting itself, right? It'll start correcting itself because it's been going up by a huge amount, right? It did $40+ in the last, month and a half or so, possibly like a little bit longer than that. So all it needs is a reason to run. And that's because right now, the Nasdaq is perfectly divergent, right? We are perfectly divergent on the Nasdaq. Still have my shorts open, right? I'm not closing these. I'm gonna wait out till I get stopped out if I do. But again, I'm not. I show you guys if you guys want to learn divergence. I show you guys how to trade divergence on my Patreon, right? This is divergence, right? This is this is a target. Target right now would be at if CPI comes out like higher than what it is. I think we end up coming all the way back down. But as of right now, target right now for the Nasdaq is another 30% drop or so, right? But again, divergence sometimes takes a very long time to play out, because it's on the daily, and this is the very first time that it's actually divergent, right? This is the very first time. And again, if you want to learn how to trade this, you can go on my Patreon. But we are divergent. This is the only thing that I'm scared about as of right now. A lot of the charts on the 4 hour, like extremely bullish, extremely bullish, especially with the dollar, the DXY actually coming back down, right? The DXY on the 4 hour is actually coming back down. Look at that, right? It's actually running a little bit to the downside, or it's coming down to the downside, right? But we haven't really broken this low, right? For this to be canceled out, this low of 106,248 has to be broken, right? This has to be broken right here. As of right now, you can use like the Darvis box strategy for this, right? Which is really just a simple, range rate, right? Is that, if you break to the downside of here, that means that it's canceled, but everything else is probably going to run. But if you break this to the upside, we're going to see some pain in the markets, right? But again, TA for the Nasdaq is extremely bearish right now. Everything else on the 4 hour looks very, very bullish. And going back to Bed Bath and Beyond, again, I would only trade this if you do some. Again, I told you guys last week or yesterday, we break 874 today, which I told you guys that I did think that it was going to break that 875 point. I would only take this if we come back and retest this 874 area. I would take my longs here and then run it up. The only issue is CPI on Wednesday. That's the only problem. The problem is that you need this to do this today, right? You need to do this today, pick up the calls here at 874 for maybe like 2 weeks out to be safe on time, and then you can actually close them out on Tuesday, tomorrow, right? Because for personally me, I wouldn't hold this on Wednesday. The volatility of that day will probably destroy IV unless, CPI comes back to like, I don't know, like 8.5%. I'm bullish as long as it comes under 9.1%. But still, I still like Bed Bath & Beyond. The only reason that I wouldn't trade this is because of Wednesday's CPI report. I would need this to come back and retest this 875 today so I can buy calls and then sell them out tomorrow. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.